Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay's Apparel. If this is what you would love to learn, please stay tuned. Let's get started. So you fold your fabric into two, and to determine the fold of the fabric, you need to divide your hips measurement divided by 2. Then you give it 7 to 8 inches allowance. That is how to determine the fold. So now I'll draw out the starting line. That's like the waistline. That's the first thing I'll do. I'll draft out the starting line. So I came down by 1 inches for the starting line. Yeah, so I'll be working with a 1 inches elastic band. So I just went down. So from the 1 inches, yes, I'll take my tape from the 1 inches. I'll be taking my waist to my hip line. From the 1 inches, sorry, my camera did not capture that part. So I placed my tape from the 1 inches. So I took my hip measurement, that's the hip line, that's 9 inches. Then the waist to the crotch line, that's the crotch line. Your waistline to the crotch line. So I'll just go ahead and roll a straight line across. Just look carefully at what I'm doing, you will get it. So I took my ruler to draw a straight line across for you guys to see. Yes, so this is just basically it. I came down by 1 inches because I'll be working with a 1 inch elastic band. So I took all my measurements from there, from the 1 inches. So that's like the waist to the hip line, the waist to the crotch line, and I'll be taking from the waistline to the length of the palazzo pant. That is what I did there. My camera did not capture that part. That's why. Okay. So that is my waist to the length of my trouser. So after I was done doing that, I went ahead to take my hip measurement divided by 4. So the hip measurement I'm using here, I'll divide it by 4. So after dividing it by 4, this is what I had, 9.5. So after that, I'll give it 4 inches allowance. 4 inches. Remember, it's a very free pant, like it's a free trouser. So I need that 4 inches for his. So the same measurement I took for the hip measurement is what I'll be taking at the waist line. Remember, it's an elastic waist, so I'll be taking the same measurement I took for the hip at the waistline. So I'll go ahead and trace out the lines down to the crotch line. I'll just go ahead and trace that line like that. So to get the depth of the crotch, you need to divide your hip measurement divided by 4. Then after getting that, you divide it again by 4. That is how you get the depth of the crotch. I don't know if you understand what I'm doing. So if you divide hip by 4 and you divide it again, you have 2.2. That is what I'm tracing out there. Then I come in, I go out by 1 inches to get the slope. It's as easy as that. So let me repeat myself. So I said I took my hip measurement divided by 4. After dividing it, I went ahead to divide it again by 4. That is how I got the depth there. So from there, I'll just trace it straight down to the hem of this trouser. I'll go ahead. There won't be anything like a slant or a slope. I just took exactly the same. I took it all the way down. The same thing all the way down. You get me? So that is what you'll be doing. If you want it as free as what you've seen in the video, just go ahead and take the same measurement. Trace it out down to the hem of the clothes. So if you don't need your own pant, your palazzo pant as free as mine, you can go ahead and slant it as you trace it all the way down. But mine, I took exactly the same thing. I had there. So So if you want to do exactly what I'm doing, then you need to take exactly what you're seeing me do. You need to impute your own measurements, remember. So I'll go ahead and cut across from the waistline. Just watch carefully what I'm doing. Pay attention to the lines I'm cutting through.
Walking down the street feeling fly, Jay's apparel catching every eye. Got my threads from the top store, rocking out.
So for the back piece, you also fold it, like you also place it on fold. Then you leave an allowance. So I left like 1.5 inches. You can decide to leave 2 inches at the top and also leave an allowance at the crotch area. So I'll be taking 2 inches allowance. That's just the difference between the back and the front. So for the front, I went ahead to slant 1 inches. I gave it just 1 inches allowance at the top, so I slant it to the side of the trouser. That is just it for the back. So you go ahead and trace the 2 inches allowance you gave all the way down to the end of the fabric or the length of your trouser. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So it is as simple as that. Just follow up exactly what I'm doing, and trust me, you will sew a perfect palazzo pant for yourself.
Walking down the street feeling fly, Jay's apparel catching every eye. Got my threads from the top store, rocking outfits that make them want more.
So as you can see, here is the front and back piece. I have two pieces each, so I went ahead to write down back and front. So after cutting it down, let me show you how you will sew when you get to your sewing machine. I'll just go ahead and sew it across those lines, the crotch line. So let me take it to the machine and sew it, then I'll bring it back for you guys to see. So I went ahead to cut out the pockets. So as you can see, these pockets were on folds, so I cut out 4 pieces of it, 2 pieces for the sloping of the pockets and 2 pieces to cover it up. This is how I like inserting my own pocket. This is how I love inserting it. So I'm so sorry I didn't show where the part where I was cutting it out. I didn't show that part. So you just place it the way you've seen, right side facing each other, just like the pants is placed right side facing each other. Like the front of the pants, it is facing each other. So same thing with the pockets. You pick up just 2 pieces of it and cut out, just like you've seen me in the video. So now I'll be taking 2 inches from that part. Then I'll slope it down by 6 or 7 inches, depending on how you want it. So I'll go ahead and cut it across that way. So pair right, just like I said, I placed the both right side facing each other. I have 2 pieces there for 2 sides of the pocket. So I'll quickly show you, and this is the other 2 piece. This is the other 2 piece, 2 piece for the front part and 2 piece to cover it up. So I'll quickly show you guys how to go about joining this. So yeah, after joining the crotch line, you go ahead to open it up that way, and this is how you place the pocket. This is how you place it, right side facing each other. I took one part off, and this is just one part for the other part of one part of the pocket. So you go ahead and sew it the way I'm showing you. So let me do that, and I'll get back to you. I'll get right back to you. So this is after I must have sewn it down with my sewing machine, and you flip it that way. You've seen the way I flipped it. Then I'll go ahead and make a top stitch at the top, and this is how to add the other part. This is just exactly what you do. Pay close attention and you understand what I'm doing. Then you go ahead and sew around like that, and your pocket is secured. Just as simple as that. So this is it. I was done sewing, and this is our pocket. This is my own way of sewing pocket. It's always very easy for me too. So yeah, I was done joining the both sides of the pocket, done joining the crotch line for both the front and the back piece, and I'll go ahead to shape the trouser. I'll just go ahead to place both the back and front piece facing each other, right side facing each other, and I'll shape it. Yes, I'll shape it. So I'll start by shaping from the crotch depth like that. I'll join it like that. I'll shape it down to the end of the trouser on both sides, and I'll now go ahead and shape by the sides. So when I'm done doing all the shapings, I'll then, okay, this is it. So after shaping, this is it. So the next thing we will be doing is to take our tape round the waist to check the measurements we have on the waist. So you need to check it. You need to take your tape round to the waistline, to know exactly what you're cutting out for the band. Remember, we used our hip measurement, exactly what we use for the hip measurement to measure up there at the waist. So you confirm it after shaping your trouser. You confirm it to know what you have so that you can cut out exactly on the band. You cut out exactly on the band. Like what you have here is exactly what you'll be cutting out for the band. Yes. So I went ahead to check and I had 54. So I'll be cutting out exactly 54 for my band. Then when I'm cutting out my elastic, my waist measurement was 30 and I'll be taking 28. I don't want it too tight. I want it free. So this is it. This is what I cut out. Remember, I'm making use of a 1-inch elastic. So I cut this out. So when I was done, this is how I sewed down my band, because there will be an opening at the middle to turn out my elastic. So I went ahead to sew it from the upper part. I stopped. This is exactly what I'm saying. So there we have where I'll be taking out my elastic from, and that's just it. I didn't record the part I was actually inserting my elastic band for you guys to see, but look closely at what I'm doing. You take your band this way to the right side of the fabric, you place it that way and go ahead and sew. So this is where the elastic band will be passing through, the small hole there. That is where it will be passing through, and after you're done, this is what we have. Hope you love it. Thanks for watching.